Rated M for mature.
Following the release of Sniper Elite V2, all of us at Rebellion were ready to go full steam ahead with the series. Our minds raced with ideas for how we could make a bigger, better sequel and take players on an adventure somewhere new. The product of that passion and drive was Sniper Elite 3. Continuing our Sniper Elite anniversary celebration, we're going to take a look back at this game so we can fully appreciate its radical change in setting, the changes it made to the Sniper Elite gameplay formula, and the role it played in the continuing evolution of the franchise. Whether you're a new fan or someone who's been with us since the beginning, join us as we dive into Sniper Elite 3, the game that took us somewhere new.
We are not the same.
Before we get to what made Sniper Elite 3 great, we want to take a moment to highlight the reason we love doing what we do, the Sniper Elite community. The release of each Sniper Elite game is accompanied by an explosion of gameplay, clips, and discussions from our dedicated community, and Sniper Elite 3 was no different. Thanks to launching on systems with more sophisticated gameplay recording and streaming capabilities, Sniper Elite 3's presence on the internet has been pretty consistent over the past 11 years. That's not something many video game franchises can say, and we definitely recognize that it's an honor to have such an active, continually engaged community. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Sniper Elite 3 launched in June 2014. This installment in the Sniper Elite series landed right after the launch of the 8th generation consoles and was able to fully take advantage of the increased horsepower of the PS4 and Xbox One. However, it didn't leave players on previous generation hardware out of the fun, as it also launched on PC, PS3, and Xbox 360. Sniper Elite 3 builds on the presentation and gameplay of Sniper Elite V2, but provides a wholly unique experience thanks to a major change in scenery. Carl's third outing takes place in June 1942, during the Western Desert Campaign of World War II. Dropped into the Battle of Gazala, Carl faces the forces of General Erwin Rommel, before being tasked with hunting down Franz Wahlen, one of Hitler's generals and the mind behind another Nazi wonder weapon, Project Zoika. Sniper Elite 3's narrative takes players on an adventure that is spread out over 8 massive missions, with another 4 being released as DLC. Among that DLC is the second Hitler assassination mission, Hunt the Grey Wolf. Let's take some time to appreciate Sniper Elite 3's unique location, North Africa. After 2 entries rooted in the European theatre of World War II, players had grown familiar with Berlin's architecture and its shadowy, war-torn streets. Those environments perfectly matched the tone and stories we wanted to explore in those earlier games. When work began on Sniper Elite 3, we knew we wanted to make the next game look and feel much bigger, but we also wanted to expand mission environments in ways that gave players more freedom in how they approached objectives. The vast deserts and bright, varied landscapes of North Africa allowed us to accomplish those goals all at once, giving players maps that are much larger than the ones in previous games. One of the biggest shifts in Sniper Elite 3 was how lighting shaped both the world and the gameplay. The bright North African sun created a stark contrast to the shadowy streets of Berlin in the earlier games. Open deserts, blinding heat haze, and long stretches of daylight forced us to think differently about stealth. Cover wasn't always about darkness anymore. It was about terrain, elevation, and timing. This dynamic use of light not only made North Africa visually striking, but also reinforced the sense of freedom and choice that defined Sniper Elite 3's larger, more open maps. Of course, North Africa was chosen for more than just the visual and mechanical opportunities it offered. Using this location also gave us the chance to explore the region's rich history and the role it played in the war. The Afrika Korps, the advancement of mechanized warfare, and hard-fought battles across Libya, Tunisia, Egypt, and Morocco are all featured heavily throughout Sniper Elite 3. The North African campaigns and the African theatre of World War II in general haven't been explored in media as much as Europe and other places. That's still true to this day, which gives Sniper Elite 3 a legacy we're quite proud of. Now, let's take a look at Sniper Elite 3's gameplay innovations. The biggest changes Sniper Elite 3 made center on the way stealth is achieved and maintained during missions. It introduced a visibility meter, represented by an eye that closes when you're well hidden and opens as you're more exposed, and enemy alert status indicators. While stealth was a major focus for improvements, we also wanted to give players larger, more dynamic spaces to facilitate greater player choice and free-form gameplay. To accomplish this, the maps in Sniper Elite 3 are noticeably bigger and more open than the previous games, an approach that would inform the development of future Sniper Elite titles. Of course, we have to talk about the X-ray kill cam. Sniper Elite 3 extended the satisfying slow-motion action to vehicles, granting the ability to watch bullets pierce engines and explode into a glorious blast of fire and shrapnel. Beyond that, multi-kills on enemy targets could now activate an extended kill cam that showed the damage as that single bullet passed through each target. And the level of detail in the X-ray was increased to show muscles, cardiovascular systems, and bones in greater detail. Sniper Elite 3 also contained revamped multiplayer options like Survival, an enhanced version of the Kill Tally Horde mode, as well as the return of Overwatch. Not to be left out, the competitive online modes received customizable character skins and weapon loadouts. Now, let's see what critics thought about Sniper Elite 3 upon release. Sniper Elite 3 was a noticeable step up from V2, and critics took notice of that. In their review, PlayStation Universe raved, "Sniper Elite 3 remains a compelling, tactically rewarding shooter that fans of the genre would do well to snap up ASAP." In his review, the Glasgow-based fantasy author and game journalist Thomas Welsh said, "Sniper Elite 3 is one of the most taxing and rewarding games you will play this year." Sniper Elite 3 effectively picked up the baton from Sniper Elite V2 and ran with it. It introduced even more core mechanics that enhanced stealth gameplay and further defined the series' identity. The move towards larger sandbox environments for missions proved to be the right way to go, and future titles would take that concept even further. Overall, Sniper Elite 3 was yet another step forward for the franchise, and it's an adventure we still cherish to this day. Over the coming weeks, we'll continue the celebration with more content that revisits various entries in the Sniper Elite series. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of it. Thanks for watching.